Before I start this Don V Fridays, let me send a prayer out to the good people of Puerto Rico. Um, they've been getting hit with these hurricanes, devastating hurricanes. I'm talking about real big time hurricanes, like the entire island been getting rocked. And, I'm not a rich man. And, we get ridiculed, us Americans. We get ridiculed because, and sometimes we'll pray. And us Christians, we get ridiculed. Oh, you praying. People look at you praying like you ain't do shit. But, at least to let somebody know, like, yo, good vibes, good blessings. You on my mind. Yeah. We can do more. Yeah. Somebody probably could do more, but I'd rather somebody pray for me if I'm going through a tough time than them to just say, well, fuck you, It's always something. Yeah, you can always do more, but damn, shit. You can at least be positive, So I'm praying for Puerto Rico, I don't know about donating to the Red Cross, though. I've been hearing things about the Red Cross. I don't know. I'm hearing Haiti ain't even got their money. When was the Haiti earthquake? I don't even know if Haiti got their bag, man. I ain't fooling with the Red Cross. But prayers to Puerto Rico, man. And prayers to Young Dolph, man. Yeah, man, Young Dolph took a couple, man. Prayers to Young Dolph, man. I hope prayers to us for a speedy recovery. We can't have a great rapper getting killed out here, man. So prayers to a speedy recovery. I heard they arrested somebody. I ain't gonna say they arrested the shooter. They arrested somebody. Fuck him. Throw him under the jail if he did it. But this episode is about, we got some big time football games this weekend, man. We got some big games. One that I'm emotionally invested in. A couple that I'm not invested in. We're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna talk about these anthem protests, unity, what it means to be an American, and we're gonna get into some things. So please grab your snack. Y'all, man, this ain't y'all first rodeo, man. Get y'all shit, lock it up. Let's get through this episode, man. Don V Fridays.
My favorite TV shows, man, the Sports Center, ESPN News, Pardon the Interruption, Around the Horn, quite frankly, Outside the Lines, Baseball Tonight. I watch sports, dog. That's what I'm trying to say. I watch sports, man. That's what I'm into. Sports. Every sport. Hockey, golf, basketball, football, of course, baseball. I got a favorite team, a favorite player in every single sport. I'm not going to answer those questions. Let's go.
Matt the Man, what up?
That was my phone.
Shout the Boogie Brown. Janice, I see
I
you.
ain't cut it off. I just hung up.
It's Gangsta Grills, you bastard!
Cover my tracks like butter, so where the bread be. I see beef is dead meat. Who that? The president? Yeah, me. No one scare me. And you ain't gotta double dare me. Hear me? Cover my tracks like butter, so where the bread be. I see beef is dead meat. Who that? The president? Yeah, me. No one scare me. And you ain't gotta double dare me. Hear me? Loud and clearly, rats aren't near me. Wiretap niggas get blood in the earpiece. I'm from New Orleans, nowhere near peace. Pure beast, fear free, dear grief. Catch up, bitch, I'm in gear 3. Zoom, gone, see ya. Peace, drop one finger. Yeah.
We about to get into conference play, and conference play is, well, let me talk about out of conference play first. Because out of conference play can lie to us. Out of conference play can have certain teams feel like they a national championship contender, and then they get inside the conference, and then they start to realize, wait a minute, we're not playing Kent State no more. We're not playing, you know what I'm saying? We're not playing Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing these group of 5 schools. We're not playing these FCS schools, And most Power 5 conferences I think with the exception of the Pac-12 and I think the Big 12, so I guess the other 3 conferences, we play 4 out-of-conference games. I think the Big 12 and the Pac-12 play 3. But that's still a nice portion of the season. 3 to 4 games of playing teams, you either were not familiar with them or you basically planned on blowing them out, So you don't really know, even right now, outside of, I'll even throw Clemson in there, like Bama, Clemson, the top dogs, as I said, the top 5. You really don't know who was who yet. Even when it comes to Virginia Tech Hokies. Like, I could sit up here and say, we put up 60 on ECU and, 38, I think 38 on ODU. But we also only scored 24 against Delaware. And, we still don't know what West Virginia was, if they were a great team that we beat. So, out-of-conference play can kind of trick you sometimes. Out-of-conference play can lie to you. So we going to find out, who are the real, over the next couple of weeks, we going to find out who really about that, who's really the top dogs in college football. And like I said, we're starting to get into, most people are starting to really get into conference play. I'm going to go over only the big games. I got 4 major matchups that I want to talk about. 3 matchups that I want to talk about briefly before I get into the main game, prime time, college game day, Clemson versus Virginia Tech. And y'all know I'm a Hokies fan, so yes, I'm biased as fuck. And you got a problem with me being biased? Fuck you. Make your own show and be unbiased. But USC plays Washington State. I think Washington State, and I love Mike Leach. Mike Leach is one of those gives no fucks. Mike Leach gives no fucks. The whole point of Mike Leach being at Wazoo is because, he kind of locked somebody's kid in the shed. I think it was Craig James' son. Like, he locked him in a shed or some shit. Like, man, no, man, sit your ass down, son. Sit your ass in the corner somewhere. He put a grown man in timeout. He got fired for putting a grown man in timeout. So, Mike Leach is in my dickhead Hall of Fame. Like, he don't give a fuck. and he got a quarter. He gives a fuck, though, if I could use a shitty-ass pun up here. He got Luke Falk. And he gonna try to give Luke Falk to USC. But I think right now, USC on the mission. They had some scares. They had some hiccups. They had an epic game with Texas that went to overtime that Texas probably should have won. But I think USC got all the fuck-ups out their system. And now I think USC is about to start rounding in the form and start being that dominant team that we predicted that they would be in the preseason. So I got USC winning by at least 2 scores. I give them 14 points. I don't gamble. So I don't know what these spreads are. Hey, holla at your bookie. Or, holla at your local thumb breaker for spreads and, who to bet and shit. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you who gonna win the game. Don't fuck your cable bill money up and then be hitting me up on Twitter talking about, man, I can't buy formula for my baby because, you told me such and such was going to do this and that. I ain't got shit to do with all that. You bet your cable bill money somewhere else. You bet your Similac money. You get your Similac money betting advice from somebody else. And please, if you do gamble, don't gamble, like I said, gamble your cable bill money. Don't gamble, your rent money. But moving on. Like I said, I got USC by at least 2 scores. 14 points, 13 points, something like that. Alabama plays Ole Miss. And I think Alabama is going to roll. As of lately, Ole Miss, well, couple years in a row. Bo Wallace and Swag Kelly. They beat Bama a couple times, but that was a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago, right? Y'all, they got a quarterback in Shea Patterson, and they got receivers, but yeah, Big Daddy. I like to call him Big Daddy. Fucking Hugh Freeze, you know. And it's ironic on the day that Hugh Hefner died, you know, another Playboy. You know, we talking about Hugh Freeze. Now, Hugh Freeze was out here dialing up escorts, you know, out here trying to secure escorts for recruits. This ain't no allegedly. He was fucking doing it. And, you know, had a trap phone and everything. Had 2 phones. You know, one for the hoes, one for the recruits. You feel me? Hugh Freeze was out here, you know, trying to secure pussy for recruits. Now, you know, I don't want to get too far off topic, but Rick Pitino, you know, who also just got fired, not for securing pussy and strippers and hoes for the recruits, but, you know, trying to secure money for recruits. You know, the NCAA, they don't like that shit either. But Hugh Freeze had to go. He had to get fired. Yeah, man, you can't be out here. It's just a bad look for the university. It's a bad look for the university. You know, you can't be out here securing pussy. Now, if you was to just get regular chicks and whatever happened, you can get out of that. But you can't be securing prostitutes, man. I mean, technically, if you were doing it for recruits, they were minors. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a mess. That got nothing to do with Alabama versus Ole Miss. I just had to feel time. Ole Miss gonna get their fucking head cracked open. It's gonna get real ugly. I got Bama really winning real big. If Bama doesn't win by at least 21 points, I'll be shocked. We got Auburn and Mississippi State. Auburn is in a funny place. Larry Culpepper, the head coach, he had to send his quarterback Sean White up the river. Had to send him packing. Youngin had, arrest after serving a suspension. Had to let Sean White go. And then Byron Coward left the program. He was He was like the number 1 player in the country, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. Correct me below, or correct me via Twitter. But he was definitely a 5-star recruit, and he was definitely an elite defensive lineman coming out of high school in the 2015 class. And he walks away from the program. So Auburn's been in a weird place because before the season, a lot of people was high on Auburn because they signed some quarterback. You know how that shit can go. They lost to Clemson, and now, people are way down on Auburn after one game, and so they got a lot to prove. And Mississippi State, who they didn't just beat LSU, they bludgeoned LSU. Like, they beat the life out of LSU and then turned right around and got the life beat out of them. So with Mississippi State and Auburn, that game is going to come down to who wants it more. And that's a cliche, but somebody's going to have to start righting the ship. They're going to have to right the ship the right way. I think Auburn got more to lose if they lose this game. The opposite of Hugh Freeze is Mississippi State's Dan Mullen. I just think he's a man of class. I like Dan Mullen. I like Nick Fitzgerald. But I think Auburn got more to lose if they were to lose this game. I got Auburn winning a tight one. Maybe like a 27-26, like nail biter, last kick, something crazy. And I'm gonna get on to it's time for the main event of the evening, I guess. Virginia Tech versus Clemson. There's no doubt about it. Clemson has, since Dabo has been the head coach, Clemson got our phone number. Clemson been beating us, man, since 2011. Definitely since 2011. I mean, I'm gonna just flat out say it. They own us. They beat us twice in 2011. They beat us in 2012. They beat us last year in the ACC championship game. Like, you know, they own us now. You know, some might say it was Frank, and you know, Frank was falling off and all of that, but doesn't change the fact that they've been whooping us. They're a fine program. Dabo, I've always said this, you know, and I mean this with no disrespect. I don't think Dabo is an elite coach as far as X's and O's are concerned. I don't even think a Clemson fan will argue with me on that. I don't think Dabo is an elite X's and O's tactician. But what Dabo Swinney, what he is great at, what he's elite at, what he's one of the, if not the best coach at, on the college level at least, is getting his guys ready to play every game against every opponent. Yes, they lost to Pitt or somebody last year. You're going to lose games. I think in this era of college football, especially in conference, when I remember I was talking about conference play, you're going to drop a game. It's going to happen. You're going to drop games in conference. Out of conference, it's different. Out of conference is different. Unless you're playing a big time, you know, big stage out of conference opponent. You shouldn't drop an out of conference game. You might have a scare, but it normally doesn't happen. But, you know, other than like the occasional slip up, Clemson is ready to play every week. Last week they didn't look so hot against Boston College, but you're not gonna blow everybody out. And once Clemson got rolling, it was over. It was over. It was fun to, you know, crack jokes on Twitter and shit, but we knew eventually they was gonna get rolling, and they got rolling. So yeah, Dabo Swinney, like I said, he might not be the best coach to X's and O's, but he's going to have his guys ready to play. He's going to have his guys fired up. And he got I cannot think of the defensive coordinator. I'm drawing like a blank. I freestyle this shit. I don't normally have like shit wrote down in front of me. But he came out of Oklahoma. He's a great defensive mind. Even Bud said he should be a coach. And I agree. He's out there every week with the purple shirt with the like a neon green Nike hat. I guess so if a fan gets drunk and throws beer bottles, they know who to hit. You know, they got a bright neon target out there, I guess. For his Brent Venables, that's his name. Brent Venables. He got Brent Venables, one of the great defensive minds. Like Bud Foster said, I don't know how this guy's not a head coach, but soon. It's definitely happening soon. And we can't wait. The conference cannot wait. So yeah, like Dabo is the great rah-rah guy. That's no shade. And he's surrounded by great coaches. Even Chad Morris, who's no longer with the program, he's a head coach now at SMU. But Chad Morris was another, he surrounds himself with great minds, and he does all the preparation and get your shit together, get hyped up, and hey, they go out there, they win a lot of games. And they have a ton of talent, starting with the defensive line. I've talked about this defensive line a lot. You know, I've talked about Cleveland Farrell, who's from Virginia. I've talked about Dexter Lawrence, and we've talked up this defensive line. We've talked up their offense. We've talked up Deion Kane, and we've talked up Hunter Renfrow, and now they got this kid Etienne or whatever, and too much talent. This kid is running through tackles, but Reggie Bush fast. Kelly Bryant, who has legit 4.4 speed, he can beat you running the ball. It's still yet to be determined if he can pass like Deshaun Watson could. Deshaun Watson was a true dual threat. He could kill you running and passing. He could throw for 400 yards and run for another 100. I haven't seen that yet from Kelly Bryant that he can consistently beat teams passing the ball, but I know he can beat you running. So it's gonna be a tall task. It's gonna be a tall task for Bud Foster and his defense and Fuente and this offense. It's gonna be a tall task, man. It's gonna be an all hands on deck type of effort. It's gonna take every ounce. It's gonna take every drop to beat a Clemson team, and we're at home. Virginia Tech is at home. You know, it's all maroon. Everything. It's a maroon effect. College game day gonna be there. Michael Vick's supposed to be there. All these recruits are gonna be there. It's the biggest football weekend in Virginia Tech in a long time. This is a very important weekend for Justin Fuente, because if he was to somehow pull this off, he could. First of all, the national perception of Virginia Tech, we're money. Perception-wise, we are money. We beat Clemson. If we beat Clemson, we're top 5. We're top 5. Now, you know, you in the driver's seat for the playoffs. Now, yeah, I'm talking way ahead, but I'm just saying, if we were to beat Clemson, you in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. And you will probably have to play Clemson again in December in the rematch, you know. But if he was to pull this one off, if he was to pull off beating this Clemson team, I don't see how we could lose to anybody else on the schedule outside of Miami. I really don't see it. Now, if we go out there and get our heads cracked and get embarrassed, then I could see, all right, it's open for business. Everybody could crack our head. You know what I'm saying? We get embarrassed, shit, Duke might crack our head. You feel me? So, this is an important weekend for the perception of Virginia Tech. Recruits are going to be watching. It's national stage. It's on ABC. College game day is going to be there. We need a win. We need a win. We got purged some demons, man. That ACC championship game last year took me to a very dark place. It took me to a very... Let me not say that. It didn't take me to a dark place. I was just pissed off for a couple of days. Because some people do go to a dark place after losses. It wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious. I was just mad and I didn't want to go to work for a while. But I hate to put a prediction on it because the homer in me will not let me choose Virginia Tech to lose. So I won't give a prediction. I won't give a score or nothing like that. I'll just say, if, listen, motherfuckers, if. And if was fifths, we'd all be drunk. And if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. I got it. Whatever. If we can find a running game, and if we can somehow keep Kelly Bryant's ass in the pocket and make him throw, we can win the game. We can win the game. I think that's the game plan. I think it's going to be cover one. But see, the thing about cover one is if he do get loose running, that's your ass. But if we keep Tremaine Edmonds spying on Kelly Bryant, he's the Kelly Bryant spy, I guess. And he can follow him over, sideline to sideline. And we basically play one deep safety. Because you're not about to play no safeties with Deion Kane on the field. You're not going to do that. You will lose. So cover one type, single high, whatever. And then you got man coverage on the outside, and everybody got to win them matchups. But I like our secondary. I'm not about to sit up here, and not believe in my secondary. We do that, and we force Kelly Bryant to consistently beat us from the pocket. We got a shot. That's all I can say. Any Clemson fans listening, hey, you gonna, laugh out loud, all that. Hey, type what you want. I'm a fan at the end of the day. I'm a fan. If you don't want me to talk for my team, like if I didn't speak for my team and I didn't say what I'm saying, you'll say, oh, you're a fake fan because you don't believe your team can win. You know how double standards fans are. Like, if your team is the underdog and you want them to win and you talk about how they could win, you're delusional. If you don't talk, you're a pussy. So, whatever. This ain't here. I'm not even here to appease Clemson fans. So that's it, man. We're gonna get into the next topic, which is probably like the little bit of viewers I do have is gonna fucking like nosedive. But I'm here to talk about what's real. So, decompress, take all that information, do what you will with it, and we're gonna get ready for topic 2. I won't hold y'all long with this topic. I think it started last weekend when President Trump said, wouldn't you like it if the NFL owners saw somebody protesting and said, pull that son of a bitch off the field, you're fired, whatever. And I guess in a way, well, first of all, he was talking to people in Alabama, take that however you want to take that. I got ties to the state of Alabama. My family's from Alabama. My dad's side is from Alabama. They live in Alabama. So, I've been to Alabama. Yeah, there's racism. But if you came up in the South, if you came up in America, if you came up in America as a black person, you more than likely to seen some racist shit. So I don't know how Alabama just got, like the stronghold of race. Like Alabama, Mississippi, and Boston catches like all the slander for being like these racist strongholds. And I'm like, it's kind of like an American thing. But anyways, he was talking to people in Alabama. He was like, listen, these NFL players need to respect our flag, respect our anthem. And, it pissed off the NFL owners, not because the protests and what they were protesting, but because these owners were told what to do by somebody who wasn't in the NFL. So everybody went out there on Sunday and Monday. They had these fake ass shows of unity because I don't think there's no rational thinking person. If I say right now, like I say right now on this show, we need to be united. We need to all come together. No, duh. Like, who? Of course. Who doesn't want unity? Like, only a neo-Nazi doesn't want unity. So you're not really breaking it. Like, what got lost in the protest is, we locked arms for unity. That's a trash protest because you can't get any unity without seeing what the protest was really about. That was police brutality. That was systemic racism. That was oppression amongst oppression to black and brown and transgender and women. And it was just like people being oppressed. So until you can see what that is, all these shows of unity don't mean anything. So the Dallas Cowboys doing what Dragonfly Jones on Twitter said, running a play action protest where they took a knee before the anthem and stood for the anthem. Like, all that shit rings hollow. It means nothing to me. Because what ended up happening was the original message got lost in all the bullshit. Because a lot of people with an agenda hijacked Kaepernick's protest and turned it into, we don't like Trump neither. And and Kaepernick's protest had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump. And a lot of people hijacked his protest and turned it into a fuck Trump. Fuck you, Trump. So, and like I said, there is no disrespect to the flag or the anthem. I'm an American. I respect my troops. I respect the troops. I come from a family of Marines. My cousin is currently a Marine. I got family members who served in the Navy and the Air Force. I did not serve. But I respect people who do. I'm a working man, but I respect the troops. I respect the veterans. Without the troops, I wouldn't be able to do a show. I wouldn't be able to, enjoy the freedoms that I do have. So it's not disrespecting the troops. It's just saying, hey, listen, things are still fucked up. Because a lot of common retorts is, well, I mean, it's good now. I mean, these people make millions of dollars. No, it's not good now. Because when you see a man like Michael Bennett, who does make millions of dollars, turn around and have police threaten to blow his fucking head off in Las Vegas after a Floyd Mayweather fight, it lets you know that even though we're allowed. First of all, that's a fucked up line of thinking right there for people to say you're allowed. Like, this is America. We all can get it. We all can make money, but people talk to you like, well, we let you do this now. Well, I had a white man tell me before, well, you can work the same job as me. Yeah, but you can end up being my boss. What scenario do you see me running the place? You don't. And it's like people just want to see equality. People, like me personally, I just want to see people give a shit and care about somebody, like people being oppressed, people being murdered, the victims' families. I just want to see people have empathy for people that's going through a rough time in America. Fuck me. I've had my, I've dealt with some racism in my life. I've obviously never been hung, but I've dealt with some racism. People say get over it. Like, I'm not 30 years old. Like, my mom isn't 53. And like, my grandma's not still alive. Like, my grandma dealt with racism. My grandma couldn't even drink out of the same fucking water fountain. Like, people act like this, as far as when they talk about like Jim Crow racism, like this shit was eons ago. Like people who dealt with it aren't fucking living. Come on, man. We just like want people to care. As far as the national anthem concerned, like, this isn't about this. Now, as far as the national anthem, like, fuck that song. Like, hey, fuck that song. Especially after reading that last verse. I will never stand for that song ever again. I went to the football game on Labor Day weekend, Virginia Tech versus West Virginia. I didn't stand. I'm going to a football game in a couple of weeks. 49ers play the Redskins. I'm not standing. Fight me. I'll fight and get kicked out of the stadium before I stand for that song. I will not. But this ain't no disrespect to the flag or the troops. God bless them troops. Send them boys home. It's enough killing and it's enough dying over there. But that's all it's about. That locked arm shit, that's bullshit. That's some lame cop-out shit. Like, what the protest is about is police brutality and the oppression of black and brown people, for the most part, and the oppression of other marginalized groups. So, Jerry Jones, nah, bro. That won't no protest. So, stop patting yourself on the back. But that's it for this week's Don V Fridays. I thank y'all for staying through the whole episode. Love your family. Love your kids. God bless.